Available now. Link below.
In a shocking turn of events, Senator John Fetterman has declared all-out war on squatters, proclaiming they have no rights and demanding they vacate properties immediately. The fiery Democrat's explosive stance has sent shockwaves through the nation as he unapologetically rejects woke culture and takes aim at those who exploit others' homes. And his fury knows no bounds as he vows to protect homeowners and hold squatters accountable for their actions. But that's not all. The senator also unleashes on the soft-on-crime policies, stands firm with Israel, and predicts a nail-biting 2024 presidential race between Trump and Biden. As the dust settles from Fetterman's bombshell interview, one question remains: will his bold stance be a catalyst for change or a political liability? Don't miss our in-depth analysis and final thought on this groundbreaking story. Now, folks, before we dive into this explosive report, let me draw an analogy. Just like the squatters invading your home, destructive elements can invade your body. That's why you need to arm yourself with an amazing supplement from GetTheTea.com. Their unique variety of supplements and herbal cleansing teas help you live longer and visit the doctor less. With beach season around the corner, try their Apple Cider Plus to get in shape. Plus, my personal favorite is their flagship tea. I have a monthly subscription, so I never run out. Trust me, this stuff works. So get all their incredible products at GetTheTea.com and use code NEXTNEWS for a 10% off discount. Remember, that's code NEXTNEWS to get your discount. Now, in a stunning development, Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania has come out swinging against the concept of squatters' rights, labeling it as a blatant violation of property rights and a mockery of the law. The outspoken Democrat minced no words in his condemnation of those who exploit legal loopholes to occupy homes they don't own, declaring squatters have no rights. How can you even pretend this is anything other than you're just breaking the law? Now, his fierce stance on the issue is a refreshing departure from the woke culture that has infiltrated many aspects of American society, and the senator has made it clear he rejects the trend, stating unequivocally, "I am not woke." As a former mayor of the working-class town of Braddock, Pennsylvania, Fetterman has first-hand experience dealing with the scourge of squatting and its detrimental impact on communities. Take a look.
As flames ripped through an abandoned CVS in Oakland, California, that place had been taken over by squatters. Left-wing policies, of course, are allowing such squatters to wreak havoc in so many places. But Democratic Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman just isn't buying in. He told the New York Post, quote, this is quite a quote, "Squatters have no rights. How can you even pretend that there's anything other than you're just breaking the law? I am not woke. It's wild that if you go away on a long trip for 30 days and someone breaks into your home, suddenly they have rights? This is crazy. Like if someone stole your car and then they held it for 30 days and somehow now you have some rights." He's incredulous. He should be. Fetterman's stance, of course, clashes with the Washington Post, which recently called squatting a, quote, right-wing talking point. So, Tom, I want to come to you on this because I was watching Jesse Waters on Friday and he had Clay Travis on. They were talking about the progression that so often happens. It starts with something is not a problem. Then it might be a problem, but it's overblown. Then it's actually good if you think about it, and then it's racist if you're against it. Where are we on the squatting scale here?
Well, it looks like we're almost to the racist point. But I love that Fetterman, he's been talking some sense lately, which is surprising to me. But yeah, of course, it's a no-brainer. The idea that you can occupy someone's home and then all of a sudden it's yours. Why wouldn't I just buy a house and then after my first month, stop paying my mortgage? And then when they come to me and say, well, I was here 30 days, it's, I think we're good. It doesn't make any sense at all. So, yeah, I think that their argument, it's a right-wing talking point. Of course it is. I mean, this is because, of course it is, and it should be.
And the victims, Molly, aren't necessarily right or left wing or whatever.
Right, they could be anybody.
It's a nightmare for people who are victimized by this.
I think the thing that concerns me the most is some of the outcomes that we've seen because of the great influx, this massive influx that we're seeing, have been somewhat predictable. The overflowing of shelters. You could have called that one out way before it happened. The Democratic leadership across the country stepping up and calling on the federal government to do something because now it's in their backyards. The concern about the squatting is we've just seen these big arrests out of New York City of a group of Venezuelans, some of them that had records, guns, drugs allegedly found there, that at some point, as this continues to happen, if it's continued to allowed, there'll be some sort of confrontation where a homeowner actually gets hurt.
Now, the senator's frustration with the current state of affairs is palpable. He expressed his disbelief at the notion that someone can break in your home while you're away on an extended trip and suddenly gain legal rights to the property. Quote, "It's wild if you go away on a long trip for 30 days and someone breaks in your home and suddenly they have rights. Like, this is crazy. Like, somebody stole your car, then they held it for 30 days and somehow you now have some rights." His criticism of squatters' rights is part of a larger critique of the Democrats' soft on crime policies, which he argues have contributed to a surge in violent crime across the country. He pointed out to the tragic murder of New York Police Department Detective Jonathan Diller as a prime example of the consequences of failing to hold repeat offenders accountable. The suspect in Diller's shooting, Guy Rivera, had a staggering 21 prior arrests and had only recently been released from prison after serving time for drug possession and assault. The senator made it clear that he believes in second chances, but not 20th chances. If you have those kinds of established records, it doesn't serve any greater goal to allow people that are offending, and allow them not to be held accountable. He called for a smart and aggressive approach to crime, the one that prioritizes the safety of law-abiding citizens and the rights of property owners. And his tough stance on crime and his rejection of woke culture have drawn some criticism from the left, who accuse him of being too conservative. However, the senator remains committed to his principles and believes the Democrat Party must take a harder line on these issues if it hopes to retain the support of working-class Americans. As the 2024 presidential election looms on the horizon, Fetterman acknowledged that the race in Pennsylvania is likely going to be tight. With 2 words, he says it's going to be very close. Trump is going to be incredibly strong in Pennsylvania. That's what he predicted. Nevertheless, the senator expressed confidence that President Biden will ultimately prevail and pledged to serve as a surrogate for him in the state. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. It's time for my final thought. Senator John Fetterman's bold stance against squatters' rights and his rejection of woke culture represent a seismic shift in the political landscape. By championing the rights of property owners and calling for a more aggressive approach to crime, Fetterman has positioned himself as a voice for the forgotten working class. His willingness to challenge the orthodoxy of his own party is a testament to his principles, his commitment to doing what he believes is right for the American people. As the 2024 election approaches, Fetterman's message of law and order and individual responsibility is likely to resonate with voters who are tired of the excesses of the far left. Whether he can help deliver Pennsylvania for President Biden remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: John Fetterman is turning out to be a force to be reckoned with within his own party. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.